Let's find out more from UK Wallball. It's Daniel Grant. Daniel, hello to you.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Very good. So it can be played by anyone as well, I suppose.
Yeah, anyone, anytime, anywhere. It's basically you hit the ball against the wall. So it's a bit like playing squash, but without a racket. So you're just hitting it against one wall and you just keep rallying it until someone misses. And the crazy thing is, it's played all around the world to the very highest professional level. But it really starts, any wall, any ball, and you can just get going right away.
How does it work in Wallball? Because from the sounds of it, it's just hitting a ball against the wall. But are there rules to go with it and some way you can score?
Yes, there is. So essentially, it's like a big rectangle on the wall. So the official court is about 6 meters wide and about 5 meters tall. And then there's a big rectangle on the floor. So you've got to hit the ball so it hits that front wall and lands in the rectangle on the floor. And it's allowed to bounce once. And you keep rallying using your right hand or your left hand as the ball bounces. And whoever wins the point wins. And then they carry on serving. And it just, every point counts until you get to 21. And then it's game over.
OK, well, that all makes sense. Where are we at in the UK with Wallball? Obviously, you're from UK Wallball, but are we one of the big nations of it, or are we sort of newbies?
We are developing, so it's really interesting. The background of the sport is, so you played all over the world, and we have very old English versions of hitting balls against walls in this country called fives. But Wallball is the new one, the one that's, if you go to New York, there's 2,500 courts across that city, and we're doing the same kind of thing here. And we're really taking off in schools. The court that opened today is the first community court, but at the top level, we have a guy called Luke Thompson, who's our GB captain, and he's now one of the best players in the world. He won the European Tour, the Grand Slam. He won every single event last year. So, real pathways from street to elite. You start playing against your garage wall, and then the next thing you could be playing for GB.
Wow, it's that simple. It's really sort of mildly low tech, but at the same time, I imagine it's becoming, in a strange sort of way, high tech and highly skilled as well. It's becoming a global thing.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. So the base level, we've basically broken down almost every barrier to entry there is. All you need is a wall and a ball. It's quite difficult to get good at it, but that's part of the challenge. And I come from it not only from a sport background, but I come from it. I'm a doctor as well in the NHS. So I'm all about physical activity for health. And certainly if we can break down those barriers to getting people active, make it super, super easy, then, a wall ball is a great solution for that. And it might encourage people to carry on doing wall ball. They might want to pick up a racket or do something else. That's absolutely fine. We just want to, get rid of those barriers to getting active.
I suppose as the sport grows, and when you say 2,500 courts in New York, you suddenly realise, and that's just one city in America, then spread that across America and other countries in the world where it's really popular, you could see there actually is a way that could become a really big thing. I mean, Olympics and all that sort of stuff, couldn't it, down the line?
Well, certainly. I mean, they've already been having talks with the Olympics, and it's, as you said, they're already world champion events, and the GB team pretty good now, but it is quite small and it's growing. But I would encourage, any school, town, or village in Berkshire that wants to get going, we can help, and it's a very easy setup, and the sky is the limit.
Okay, yes, because I was about to say UK Wallball is a good place to start. I mean, especially for schools and sporting groups as well for youngsters.
Yeah, totally. UKWallball.co.uk is our website. We've got a lot of information there. But really, especially as we're coming out of COVID, getting people active really easily as the leisure centres are trickling open, that kind of thing. Using your grey spaces to get active. If you don't have access to green spaces, for example, I think that's a really good way forward.
Daniel, really good to speak to you. Thank you very much indeed. That's fascinating, isn't it? Wallball, it's a thing, and it's a big thing as well. It's getting bigger all the time. Daniel Grant there from UK Wallball.